Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name's Jack, and in this video we're going to be doing an update on our live trade on ICP Internet Computer. Before we get in, if you don't mind, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell. I've been trading these markets full time for 5 years basically, and I'm literally giving you my live trades on my YouTube channel, so you will probably save money at some point by following along with me. So go ahead and do that now, click that subscribe button. Let's jump in. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis on ICP, discussing price predictions to the upside, giving you some buy zones to the downside if you're looking to fill your bags, and discussing our live trade. But before we get in, we're just going to take a quick look at Bitcoin here, just to see where we are in the overall market. Bitcoin is the index after all. So I'm going to start out here with the bullish case, and then we're going to do the bearish case, right? Because there are two. There's always two sides of the coin. So let's just start out with the basics here, right? Bitcoin is in a macro uptrend. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We're in a bull market. We are above our EMA band, which is very, very positive. And we have just recently seen a bounce from our 2-day EMA band here, which is generally what you do expect in these bull markets. So we have just now seen that over the last week, which is absolutely great to see. I wasn't so sure if Bitcoin was actually going to bounce here, just because of the amount of times that we actually retested it. So it is fantastic to see this bounce. We also currently today are just breaking above our RSI downsloping trend line, which has been holding the price back since the 22nd of November 2024. See the way we've had this downsloping trend line here, holding the price down. On the higher time frames, like the daily or the weekly, anytime you see a trend line like this getting broken on the RSI, it is often the sign of a breakout. The RSI can actually lead the price, and you can see right now we are indeed breaking out here. So this candle is going to confirm in 45 minutes time, so probably by the time this video is uploaded, which is fantastic. As long as price stays above this trend line, this is indicative of a bullish breakout here to the upside, which is great. If we just nip down to the before I do that, actually, if we just toggle our 50-day SMA on as well here, some of you might remember from my last couple of videos, I was feeling quite nervous about Bitcoin before because we had closed below the green line here, which is the 50-day SMA, but we have now broken up, reclaimed that, and closed multiple candles above. So I no longer have that worry, and I've now flipped bullish again on Bitcoin on the shorter time frames. Also, on the 4-hour time frame, I told you to watch out for that 200 SMA on the 4-hour, and again, Bitcoin has just blasted through it beautifully. In fact, we had this resistance level at sort of basically 100k, along with this 200 SMA. Bitcoin has just wiped both of those out with a very strong candle to the upside today, which is, guys, fantastic to see. I'm very happy to be flipping bullish again on Bitcoin. If we just take a look at some macro indicators as well, if I just zoom out to the monthly time frame here, and I open up our 2-week stochastic RSI, or our monthly stochastic RSI, we have just entered our bullish zone here on the monthly, which is good to see. Generally, anytime you see the monthly stochastic RSI in the white zone here at the top, generally you see further upside to come. So if you see here in 2023, that marked the start of a rally. In 2020, marked the start of a rally. In 2019, false signal that actually marked the top. But in 2017 also marked the start of a rally. So more times than not, the signal is a bullish one, and that has now confirmed on the monthly time frame, which is great to see. Equally, the RSI standard, the normal RSI, is also in this bullish zone too, signifying that in the long term, on these higher time frames like the weekly, the monthly, Bitcoin's looking good. It's looking bullish, which I'm very happy to say. In terms of potential negatives then, right, so here's the thing, guys. We've just had a pullback, as I'm sure you're all aware of, but I don't know if it's finished yet, because really, oftentimes, these couple of days, right, between the 7th of January to the 10th of January, very often in bull markets causes a drop in the Bitcoin price. So if we just look at last year, we had a 20% pullback starting on basically, the 8th of January. The year before, in 2020, it started on basically the 4th of January, and then you had another one there in 2019 also around that time. So just be aware. I don't know if this pullback is already carried out, because we did have this pullback here, but just be aware this is a week. The next couple of days is often cyclically a point where Bitcoin price can turn around. Additionally, we also have, as I've been discussing for a while now, this bearish divergence here on the weekly time frame, whereas we're making lower highs in the RSI, but we're making higher highs in the price. And generally what you see from this is some choppy sideways price action or a significant move to the downside. But these do play out over the longer term, right? This is a longer term signal. It's not a sell signal immediately, but it is telling you that you should be careful in the longer term here, right? And if I just nip back over to Bitcoin on this other chart here, we're also running into this critical line of resistance. This trend line has been active since 2017, and you see every time we've touched it has caused a big crash. So guys, I'm just stating the facts here. We are at this level, right? So hopefully Bitcoin can break through here, but it is a major sign you need to be paying attention to, because history tells us that when Bitcoin gets to this level, it really struggles. But overall, things are looking good here on Bitcoin. If we do get a pullback in January/February, I would be just expecting to target, as we've been discussing about for weeks, that 84 to 74k level, because of this prior price structure that we have here, and it's also our weekly EMA band, which should act as major support, and I would be buying this up. So what do you do with all this information then? So Bitcoin's in a bull market, right? And it's looking good. But there are warning signs there. This resistance level where we are at and this bearish divergence on the RSI are two major ones. But my strategy for this moving forward, because we are in a bull market, I'm going to proceed so long as the price, Bitcoin price, is above the 2-day EMA band. I have to stay long. I have to keep my positions. But I'm very, very cautious that things could turn around if those macro bearish signals do begin to play out. So basically the way I'm playing this, so long as the short-term price action tells me to be bullish, which it is right now, I'll stay bullish. But I will very quickly flip bearish again if the price actually tells me to, just because of these higher time frame warning signals. Okay, so let's jump into ICP now. Okay, so ICP on the weekly time frame. Just remove some of this junk for you. So we're still carrying out this major breakout of this prior range that we made during the summer, which was keeping the price restrained. We've broken out of that, retested it beautifully there in the second week of December with a long wick to the downside, signifying strong buying pressure. We're above our EMA band as well, which again is fantastic, and we have just completed a perfect retest of that EMA. And in fact, during the last week, this last weekly candle was almost a bullish engulfing candle, whereas it completely engulfed the candle prior, which was quite a negative candle. So this is a very bullish candle we've seen from ICP last week, which is great. We're also carrying out this long-term breakout of this down-sloping RSI trend line, which was keeping the price suppressed for most of this year. We've broken out of that. We've retested our midline here, the white line and the RSI, and we are now targeting further to the upside. So on the weekly time frame, ICP looking good, guys. Not gonna lie, it's looking really good, and I think it's time to start looking at some of these higher levels. If we just nip down to the daily time frame. So yeah, in the daily time frame, guys, we have broken out of the short-term downward trend, this down-sloping trend line. We've now broken out of that, confirmed multiple candles above, and had this God candle here, which pushed us right up almost to $13, and we are now pulling back from that, which is absolutely fine. And in fact, this is a bullish consolidation pattern. Again, if you're looking to fill your bags with this coin, I would be targeting that $11.70 to $11.30. Let's call it this buy zone right here. Stick that in your chart if you're looking to buy this and you haven't already. That would be a really good zone to get in, and it also has confluence here with our daily EMA band here. It's all following in that zone, so you've got a couple of confluences there. That's the level to target if you're looking to fill your bags. Okay, so in terms of a shorter time frame trend, then what I'm actually seeing here, well, not a trend but a signal, what I'm seeing here, guys, on the 4-hour time frame, we have been below our 200 SMA on the 4-hour for quite a while now, since before Christmas, and price usually performs very negatively when it's below this. But now that we're above this, guys, we can start flipping bullish again. So what we've seen here, just to break it down for you, we've seen this strong breakout, this strong trend to the upside over the last few days, and we are now in this consolidation pattern above our 200 SMA on the 4-hour, which is absolutely critical. So long as we're above that SMA, I will remain bullish on ICP. And in fact, we're setting up a bit of a target here, which is, it's technically a bull flag, but it's, again, we don't want it to stretch too far further. But basically, when you've got a target like this, right, when you've had this strong breakout and then you start consolidating sideways, that is a bullish signal. And in fact, you take your target, there's a technical price target for this. you take it from the low to the high and then set it up from the breakout point, which will be here. And that target, guys, if we break out of this consolidation pattern here at roughly $12.50, that should activate a target to the upside to $15.26, and that's roughly in line with the local high here that we made at approximately $15.50. So there are two confidences there, and that will be a gain from today's price, and that would be a lovely 30% gain from today's price. So let's just hope that does happen. What we don't want to see here, we don't want to see ICP breaking below this 200 SMA, because that would be quite negative and would make a return to some of these lower levels more probable. But for the moment, that's not the case. We're just waiting for this breakout. The breakout either of this resistance level or of our RSI here, which is down sloping as well. So before I leave you here, I'm just going to give you my invalidation. By the way, sorry for my voice. I think I've got a sickness or something. But before I leave you here, I'm just going to give you your invalidation. So the invalidation for this trade, if things go wrong, if you see ICP turning around here, breaking below its EMA band and rejecting it, that's your signal to get out. Sort of like we saw here, but obviously it does print some false signals like what happened recently in December. But there you have it. I'm expecting ICP to do great things. We're looking bullish in the short term, and ultimately I am expecting ICP to make it eventually to that $250 to $150 range. So I hope you enjoyed that video today, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye bye.